IIT Gujarat, Punjab Technical University is a state technical university of Punjab. We have signed collaboration agreement with Google Asia Pacific to train our faculty and students on Android development with Kotlin. Already, orientation program was organized in which our 85 faculty members participated, and out of which 11 faculty members got 6 days training. We target to train our 100 faculty members in the times to come.
Chandigarh University association with Google started in the year 2018. In 2018, Chandigarh University hosted the Google Mobile Developers Fest, in which around 1000 plus students interacted with these Google developers. The students of Chandigarh University are also participating in the various activities of the Developers Student Club, in which various sessions, workshops are regularly organized by them. Chandigarh University has also adopted the Google Next Generation Technologies in our curriculum, especially for the undergraduate and postgraduate students of computer science and computer applications. Thank you.
Shivaji University is one of the premier universities in the Western Maharashtra, spread over 3 districts, having a strength of 250,000 students. Our computer science wing is very strong, not only on campus but off campus as well. We have recently revised our curriculum and we have included Android programming in our UG courses like BSc Computer Science, BCA, as well as in MSc Computer Science and MCA. And the plan is to include many more such advanced things with Google in the future revision in the curriculum also. Thank you.
L4G's vision is to help academic institutions, faculty and students through industry and technology-centric programs. The team from L4G has been in the EdTech space for over 2 decades and was instrumental in bringing digital transformation in campuses through various industry programs, technical workforce development initiatives and digital platforms at scale. L4G and its affiliate partner network of academic institutions across India are contributing to the Android development with Kotlin initiative. As an early adopter, L4G team along with Google trained 100 faculty from 40 institutions during September 2020. Now, L4G in partnership with Google Developer Ecosystem is planning to reach out and handhold 10,000 students from 100 universities, autonomous and affiliated colleges, mostly from semi-urban and rural areas by 2022.
I'm Satyanusha, pursuing 3rd year BTech in BVRIT Hyderabad College of Engineering for Women in Information Technology stream. Recently, I enrolled for a course, Mobile Application Development in Kotlin, which the reason why I enrolled for this course is it is a new modern language which makes developers more productive and helps them to write very concise and clear code. The major key outcome of this course is it makes the developers to write very concise, understandable and implementable code. Coming to my learning experience with this course is, recently I started with lesson 1 and the lesson 1 is very clear, understandable and the content was given in a very good format which is very easy to understand and go through. And with an interest to develop more mobile applications, I actually choose this course in the Kotlin and I had an idea, that is I want to develop a mobile application which helps the people to know their memory capacity and the memory power. I'm figuring out few categories and the levels of the game, but still I have an idea to create a mobile application which measures the memory power. And I can assure that mobile applications will definitely impact and help the society and the common people. and one of our professional elective subject is mobile application development. So our faculty and the management even guided us to take up this course because we can understand the concepts in more clear way and we can practice them easier, so that we enrolled. So I can say L4G and the college management has played a major role for organizing this course for us. Thank you for giving this opportunity to share my views and to express my opinion about this course and how I feel and my learning experience. Thank you.
We were not sure what would happen to us. We did not know what would happen to our pupils and our staff members.
हमें डर था कि बच्चे कहीं पीछे ना रह जाएं।
हेलो।
हम टीचरों को ही कोई नया रास्ता ढूंढना था।
We're going to work out the volume of this spring roll.
Good morning and welcome to our whole school assembly.
Let's get some learning on.
I consist of 95% water.
I am really happy to see so many people. Hi.
Ciao bambini. El COVID nos ha llevado a innovar, a hacer cosas disruptivas, a hacer cosas diferentes.
Technology can level the playing field for children. It opens up so many avenues that they otherwise would not have been exposed to. It's hope.
I'm so proud of you. Well done.
That was heartening, wasn't it? Hello everyone and welcome to India Faculty Summit 2021. It's my pleasure to be your host for this show. I'm Lakshya Shivram Krishnan from the Developer Relations team at Google, and we are extremely excited for this summit. We would like to warmly welcome all the educationalists, scholars, influencers from academia, faculties from Indian universities, and our skilling partners joining us virtually today for this event. We understand how difficult it is to be a faculty in these challenging times. Faculty all over the world have redefined resilience and adaptability by quickly moving to smarter teaching modes, with technology being an enabler. We want to take a moment to let you know that we truly value your contributions and the difference that you're making in the lives of young minds all over the world. The purpose of this summit is to celebrate and recognize all the efforts invested by faculties to upskill themselves and showcase a few early adopter universities in India who have decided to integrate Android development with Kotlin as part of their course curriculum for their upcoming semester. We are being joined by speakers all over the world, and I'm delighted to welcome you all. We request you to adhere to Google Developers Code of Conduct and leverage the summit's content to the maximum. After each talk, you will see a pop-up 1 minute before each talk ends for you to let us know about how useful this summit's content was for you.
Please ensure that you share session feedback with us after each talk. Without further ado, join me in welcoming Jacob Lehebaum, the Director of Android Developer Relations at Google, where he helps developers build better apps and careers on Android. He will be speaking to us about the various Android programs that we offer and what's happening broadly in the Android ecosystem. Over to you, Jacob.
Thank you so much, Laksha. Welcome, everyone. It is truly my honor to be here speaking with all of you, well, virtually. And I wish I could be here to meet you all. This last year has been a difficult one for many of us. We've had to learn new ways of doing things. In some cases, this has meant doing more and turning more to apps. Apps can provide us with a welcome escape from a complicated world. They can help us do things more easily. They can even help connect us with people that we love. I have a 3-year-old daughter, her name's Violet. She wasn't even 2 at the start of the pandemic. And we've been doing these weekly video calls with her grandparents so that she can get to know them, she can get to interact with them. We can't wait to see each other again in person, but it's provided us with a very welcome relief from a difficult year. And now, this is just one of the ways that many of us are turning to apps. And this increased reliance on apps is driving a digital transformation. In many ways, people believe that COVID has moved forward digital transformation by something like 10 to 15 years. It's the direction that we saw things going, but it's happened a lot faster. And of course, this depends on where you are in the world. Now, we're seeing, in general in India, tremendous growth of smartphones. We're actually expecting smartphone users in India to reach over 760 million by the end of 2021. And what this means is that India is a mobile-first country. And as a mobile-first country, this means you may be using your phone to purchase something online. You may be connecting with loved ones, just as I have with my grandparents. You may be ordering a car through your favorite car service, ordering food from your food delivery service, or even connecting with colleagues or learning in an online format. We're increasingly turning to our phones to do many of these things that are part of our everyday lives. Now, what this means for app developers is that our jobs have never been more important. The work that we're doing to connect people with businesses, with people, with their tasks, this is becoming more important, and expectations from people are increasing as well. If the only way or the main way that you're interacting with a business or interacting with a service is through an app, that interaction becomes absolutely critical. And so as businesses, we need to have an efficient and effective way to reach our users because this, again, is the primary touch point. The way that people experience our brand, the way people experience our business is through the app. And this also means that we need to be able to engage with people throughout their lives, wherever they are. In many cases, this may be on a mobile phone. In some cases, this could be through a TV. We're increasingly seeing people using smart displays, smart speakers, different ways of interacting with applications and services. We're even seeing a large growth of apps directly in cars itself. And so this allows you to experience a service throughout each aspect of your day and your life and get more value out of that. And so with apps and with these services, you have an opportunity as a business or as an app developer to engage with your customers everywhere. And as a new business, joining a platform, for example, like Android, we'll talk about that in a moment, gives you this opportunity to meet a global audience at just this incredible scale through marketplaces. And so let's talk a little bit about the Android ecosystem. Android is a vibrant ecosystem. There's over 2.5 billion devices, active devices, and growing around the world. It's an innovative platform. It's built for everyone. There's many, many different kinds of devices, many, many different kinds of users. And so, for example, we see over 2 billion people that are using Play on a monthly basis. We see over 116 billion downloads over the last 12 months in the Play Store. And so you can see that as you join the Android ecosystem, as you think about bringing an application onto Play, you have this opportunity to reach this very large global audience wherever they are. Now I'd like to switch over and talk a little bit about Kotlin. I love technology. That's one of the reasons why I joined this industry. And we're really excited about the Kotlin programming language. We announced a couple years back that we were going Kotlin first on Android. And what this means is that we provide a great experience for every developer to build apps using the Kotlin programming language. And today, over 70% of the top 1,000 apps are using Kotlin. Over 60% of Android developers are using Kotlin. Why are they doing that? Well, Kotlin, it helps you write more concise code. It's safer, so there's less crashes. It's fun to use. It brings a lot of modern programming capabilities to Android, and so people just really like to use it. It's a more efficient way to build apps. It's a fun way to build apps, and as you can see, the growth has been really quite phenomenal. And now, as we introduce something new like Kotlin, we really think it's our responsibility to help the ecosystem come along and help them adopt it. And so in Android DevRel, we've been putting together a tremendous number of resources to help everyone learn Kotlin. The first piece of that is an Android Basics in Kotlin course. It's completely free. It's available on developer.android.com. And it really helps you start from absolutely no programming knowledge all the way to building your first Android app. And it's a lot of fun along the way. And now it's not enough to just have that course. We also are working with universities around the world. We have our Android for Educators faculty training program to help universities teach Kotlin in their university, teach Android development with Kotlin in their university. Of course, this is why you all are here today. And in addition, Kotlin is one of the ways that we're modernizing how you build apps on Android. There's a lot of other things we're doing, and we call this modern Android development. And it started from a great IDE with Android Studio. We introduced Kotlin as a great new modern programming language, but we also built this technology we call Jetpack, which is a set of libraries that can help you build apps faster by not having to re-implement all the basic building blocks of an app. And it's a bunch of different libraries and components that are designed to work together. And we also just in the last couple of years have started to roll out Jetpack Compose, which is the new modern UI for Android development. And so to help developers around the world, whether you're a new developer in Android or you've been developing for 10 plus years, we've introduced the MAD Skills Series, Modern Android Development Skills Series, to help you learn all the different technologies that are there with almost weekly content to help you learn. Now, it's very important to us with such a large ecosystem. We think that there's an opportunity to help anyone become an Android developer. In fact, we really see our mission as helping developers build with the latest features, but then also helping anyone get a great career as an Android developer. And as part of that, we've built this Equity Through Training developer program to help people around the world, regardless of your background, be able to pick up the skills that you need to get a great job as an Android developer. Now, part of helping everybody learn is our Android Study Gems program. Over the last year, we've been running over 1,000 events around the world, many of them through universities, where we've been able to reach 55,000 students with a set of content that can help you get started and build your first app with Android. And it's really been exciting and rewarding for us to see everybody learning in their universities with their fellow students and starting that journey to become an Android developer. And of course, we make this content available for anyone. So whether you're part of a existing university program or you want to run a study jam just within your own community group, it's totally okay. The resources are available for you. And we're really excited to see everyone learning together. So with that, I just want to congratulate everyone on being a part of Android's global community and being here today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jacob. Your leadership is inspiring, and so was your talk. We now have Karthik Padmanabhan, who leads developer ecosystem efforts at Google India, MENA, and Turkey, to talk to us about how this program is impacting lives of faculties and in turn young minds to upskill and aspire for a brighter future. Over to you, Karthik.
Thank you, Lakshya, and a very warm welcome to all the respected dignitaries, professors on the summit. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be here addressing you all on a very, very important and a strategic topic of how the entire ecosystem is likely to start adopting Kotlin as the preferred Android development platform. So with that, I just wanted to give you all, extend a very, very warm welcome and thank you all for taking the time off to going through this, and all of you who have already started this program and have been driving it in your respective universities, colleges, a big, big thank you for all. So with that, I just wanted to spend some few minutes taking you through what has been our journey so far as far as the Android development using Kotlin is concerned, this particular program. So many of you would be new to this program. So let me take a minute to tell you what is faculty training program. This program is to empower Indian professors with learning, training resources on technologies developed by Google. We collaborate with universities, private, public, as well as deemed. We also have tons of skilling partners across various state-run bodies who in turn go out and train these faculties. We follow a train-the-train model, which has worked for us well in the past. We provide participation certificates and digital badges on course completion for the faculties. Through this program, we want to create a healthy and an active community of faculties in India, which is very, very important for us to make sure that we empower the faculty so that they in turn can go and deliver and conduct these classes and courses in their respective colleges. Let me take you with the journey so far, what we have covered. We've done around 1,300 faculties. We have already garnered and trained. We're engaging with 30 plus universities. We are working with 8 university skilling partners. And we have close to around 2,000 students who are already been badged. It's still very early days, but we've already started to see a huge amount of traction in the university space with students as well as faculties, and we want to build on this momentum so that we're able to deliver pan-India, which will eventually start helping the students, start helping the colleges, and also start helping the industry at some point in time. So with that, we are very, very excited with the journey which has happened so far. So we have a few early adopters who have included Android development with Kotlin as part of their curriculum. From the north, we have IK Gujral, Punjab Technical University, and Chandigarh University, which is a deemed university, who have added it into their UG and PG courses. From the west, we have Shivaji University and Ganpat University who have decided to add the course. From the south, we have quite a few skilling partners like Learn for Grow, Task, the 2 skilling partners who are working on this. We have also been engaged with many more universities through this program, such as AKTU in Lucknow, JNTU in Anantapur and Kakinada, VTU in Karnataka, ICT Academy in Kerala, ICT Academy in Tamil Nadu, GTU in Gujarat, IP University in Delhi, Assam, Don Bosco University in Assam. So we have many more, and this is just a very partial list, and my apologies in case I've not called out some universities, but we are very, very grateful for all of these universities who adopted, and we are very excited and very charged to make sure that we are able to support them on an ongoing basis so that the students are able to get really leading edge curriculum and courses as far as Kotlin is concerned for Android development. So we also are very excited to launch the Android for Adhyapak newsletter, and we feel that this will kind of keep the community together as a glue. We are going to start the monthly newsletter very, very surely, Android for Adhyapak, in a month's time. We will be sharing updates about the course, any community or Google-led events. We also have a column for faculty spotlight every month. We'll be featuring some of you in that, where you can share your best practices, what have you learned, what is the feedback from the students. We're also starting something called the faculty community program. Our goal is to create a healthy and functional community for this program. So we will soon be launching a specific program for most active and contributing faculties only. Harsh will be giving more details about this talk. And of course, Android certification scholarship will be coming soon. So we ran this in the past and it was very, very successful and popular. We plan to run a pilot and see how it takes. And then eventually, if things are going fine, we would like to scale this. So Android, stay tuned for more details on Android certification scholarship program, which is going to hit us very soon.
Thank you, Karthik. I'm sure there's a lot more coming up for Android developers in India. It's now my privilege to invite our chief guest and keynote speaker, Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe, the chairman of All India Council for Technical Education, to join us. Professor Anil Datraya Sahasrabuddhe, a professor of mechanical engineering at Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, is currently the chairman of All India Council for Technical Education. Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe has held several academic, research, and administrative positions at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Tata Consulting Engineers, Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology, Itanagar, and IIT Guwahati. He has also served as the director at College of Engineering, Pune since 2006 on deputation from IIT Guwahati prior to joining as the AICTE chairman. He has been bestowed with several awards, which include the Maha Intrapreneur Award of Praj Industries in 2011, the Jeevan Gaurav Puraskar from MIT World Peace University, Pune in 2019, and the Mahatma Gandhi Leadership Award from Indian Achievers Forum and CSR Times in 2019. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Laksha, for that wonderful introduction. And I'm very delighted and happy to be associated with this Google program, especially skilling of faculty members and integrating Android development with Kotlin. It's very great honor for me to be amidst all of you, which is a very important India Faculty Summit 2021, which Google has been organizing. And I'm aware of a lot of activities which Google has been doing with several universities, especially tech-based universities in India, starting from JNTU to all other maybe 27 odd technical universities. And this program of training faculty in terms of development based on Android, and with Kotlin is one of the very significant and important things, because future jobs are all going to be on development of different web applications, Android applications, which are going to be using Kotlin. And Google has been trying to train first the faculty members. And once the faculty are trained, obviously they will take it back to the classes and students get trained. So it is like train the trainers program, which has been online for the last 1 year. And the next edition, which is going on now, which is a faculty summit, for the Indian faculty, is going to be very, very vital. And this also comes in terms of an MOU which AICTE and Google signed off, and then several other initiatives of providing Google tools, technologies to our faculty and students, which has been ongoing. This is again a feather in the cap of training of the faculty members. As far as AICTE is concerned, we have been using Google in many ways, our Google Classrooms, then many tools of the Google. In fact, Gmail is very common for every one of us. And that being the case, the MOU is going to take further fillip in terms of this particular Faculty Summit 2021, and we move forward. I would like to tell all the faculty who have joined that this is a great opportunity that they have got in terms of training from directly Google. We have been also training faculty members under Atal Academies, AICTE's training and learning academies, in terms of training faculty members into all emerging areas, whether it is AI, IoT, machine learning, deep learning, robotics, 3D printing, blockchain, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain. We have also got the issues with various types of cybersecurity issues, and therefore they have to be trained. I think all of these are there, but developing first-hand different types of tools using Kotlin is going to be very significant in the future, because many applications are going to come up using this, and some of your students will not only get good employment opportunities, which is going to improve the rating of your institution. But more importantly, some of the students learning these development tools will start doing their own startups and entrepreneurial journey through which they will create jobs. That is win-win situation for your students and alumni to engage with one other, and that is where Google support has been very, very forthcoming. I am also aware of various other programs that Google drives, whether it is in terms of, I know IIT Madras NPTEL programs were also being helped by Google, and many other associations in terms of different universities and colleges. AICT has another interesting program which is for development of not only skills, which is very important, no doubt, but value system. We have a universal human values program which we have been driving for the last 3 years to inculcate the spirit of honesty, integrity, which is so vital. Technology will come and go. You will learn, you will unlearn, you will relearn. But ultimately, the human being is expected to be delivering honestly with high level of integrity. And therefore, our universal human values and student induction program is also very timely. I'm sure Google will take cue from out of this and help us in reaching out to more number of institutions through the tools that they have in terms of training faculty members, even in this system of universal human values. The third one, which we have been doing also where association can be built, is about examination reforms. We are all aware that our examinations in India have been based on rote learning for all these years, and that's why the spirit of innovation has been lacking. If the examinations are transformed from the rote learning type of questions to questions of higher order of learning, that is based on Bloom's taxonomy, maybe be it understanding of the subject, maybe critical thinking, analytical ability, as well as innovation and creativity embedded in the question papers, our students will be forthcoming with a lot of out-of-the-box solutions to the challenges and problems that the society is facing. And our common interest between Google and AICT would be for the common good of the society. And that's where our program on examination reforms will be handy. And secondly, a lot of AI activities are going on both in Google as well as in AICT, and therefore AI-based learning, whether it is in terms of taking forward from where they are to higher level of learning, whether it is the development through Kotlin itself or through any other technology, how we can make use of artificial intelligence to understand the level of learning that student has or faculty has already done, and how we navigate that person through to achieve excellence in a particular domain. So I think sky is the limit, we often used to say, but today sky is also not the limit. Now the limit is boundless. We go to other planets like Mars, and some of the ISRO plans of going even towards nearer to sun. So that means our solar system and beyond is also our reach, and therefore sky is not the limit anymore, and it is beyond that as well. So let us work together, Google and AICT, and not only make this program successful, but also in future all the endeavors that we undertake jointly. We will struggle, we will strive, we will innovate, we will try to help each other, and then move forward to make our India Atmanirbhar Bharat, which our Honorable Prime Minister has been often speaking about. And we have held different hackathons which are already ongoing. We will support even in terms of giving problem statements to young students, faculty members, and create solutions out of them through hackathons as well. I think I conclude here, and all the very best wishes for this particular summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. It's heartening to see how new education policies are benefiting young minds to upskill themselves. Thank you so much for your time. Next up, we have Murad Yener, a developer advocate at Google, to help us understand the mobile ecosystem better. He would be sharing his insights on the current trends and updates on Android and how the Indian ecosystem is adopting to these new changes. Over to you, Murad.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to virtually be here today. I'm Murat, a developer advocate in Android DevRel. I wish we could do this in person, speaking face to face, but we'll be there, and hopefully I'll be one of the first visiting beautiful India. So with that, let's start rolling. Understanding the mobile ecosystem. In order to understand the mobile ecosystem, let's go back briefly in time and take a look at the history of mobile and Android. The first release of Android, which was basically an SDK for developers to build apps, was back in 2007. Can you imagine? This is more than a decade ago. Version 1 came a year later, and this is still more than a decade ago. At the time, we used Java programming language to build apps, which was a very good decision thanks to its large developer ecosystem, existing libraries, patterns, and best practices. On the tools, Android Developer Tools, ADT, was a set of plugins built on Eclipse, which offered a familiar developer experience. Also, it allowed people to use existing Eclipse plugins in their development environments. As we look at the platform, we had a very frequent release cycle in the early years. The reason behind that was because new APIs and functionality were tied to the platform releases. And Android was new, and we needed to ship new functionality as well as bug fixes at that time. Looking at how Android apps used to be distributed, we used to ask developers to build and upload the whole app as a single package, which is basically a zip file with some other extension. This zip file included all binary files and all the other app resources, so everything used to be downloaded at once. But as time passed, these early decisions have some consequences. To start, Java programming language was, and actually is still great, but developers wanted to see some modern programming features. On the tools, again, Eclipse is great, but we were not involved in the core IDE development process, which limited the integration and the features we needed to move Android forward. As the APIs were tied to the platform releases, the adoption of the new APIs were limited with the devices which continue getting regular updates. And finally, with the advancements in device capabilities and network speeds, developers started building more and more complex apps, and they also target different form factor devices such as tablets, TVs, cars. So one APK to target everything, all devices, didn't really scale and aged well. To fix this, we introduced app bundles. With app bundles, only the needed part of an app are installed on the user device at the install time, which saves both on network and device storage. As the users use the app, the features which are needed will be downloaded as the user interacts with the app. We also unbundled the APIs from the platform releases and later called this Android Jetpack. With this, developers had the freedom to use the most recent APIs, even on devices running older versions of Android. Today, there are, I believe, close to 80 libraries under Jetpack, which have a release cadence of 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, we have new releases. On the tools, we decided to move to an IntelliJ-based new IDE. And in 2013, Android Studio was announced. With Android Studio, we managed to build better tooling support for developers. And coming back to the programming language, we announced Kotlin support in 2017. And as we see how developers love Kotlin, we decided to go Kotlin first in just 2 years after that. But let's stop here and think, why? Why developers love Kotlin? Let's take a quick look into this. As I mentioned, we announced Kotlin support in 2017, but actually developers were already interested in Kotlin even before that. Actually, even before Kotlin hit 1.0. Let's see some reasons why developers love Kotlin that much. First, with Kotlin, you can do more with writing less code, which means less effort and easier maintenance. Actually, looking at some testimonials, developers say they see a noticeable decrease in the code size, in some cases up to 25%, and definitely less boilerplate code. Less code means less errors and lower maintenance effort, which definitely works for whole team and everyone. Null safety. Null safety is another important reason why developers love Kotlin. Actually, did you know null pointer exception is the #1 cause of Android app crashes? Null safety is an important language feature which can save you a lot of trouble and avoid uninstalls from your app users. With null safety, while eliminating these crashes, with less null checks, developers can spend their precious time on things that really matter. Actually, I really love this testimonial. It reminds me how much time we used to spend on null checks or even just to discuss what to return from a function. Null safety is all baked into the language, and you can always explicitly declare a variable as nullable, which helps you to work with legacy code side by side with no issues. For most developers, the best part is, with Kotlin, you don't need to rewrite your whole code base at once. Kotlin has 100% interoperability with the Java programming language. You can always start small, such as only converting and using data classes, and later move forward as you get familiar and comfortable with the language. And it's not only the interoperability, but developers also find Kotlin easy to learn and easy to switch from Java programming language. Again, looking at the testimonials, most developers pick up the majority of the language features in single day, and they feel conversational just around a week. Using and understanding threads has never been that easy. Initially, we introduced async task to offer easy threading, but that didn't age well, and we don't recommend this anymore as the platform and the apps grew. With coroutines and flow, async programming is much easier both to understand and also to implement. Coroutines are basically a lightweight, thread-like thing that's so cheap you can have millions going at once, and it's a built-in feature of the language, Kotlin. With easier threading, developers can develop apps not only in an easier way, but also way faster than they used to. Of course, not to mention, less likely to hit concurrency issues thanks to coroutines and immutability as default. So, these all make Kotlin one of the most loved programming languages among developers. I'm pretty sure you have seen some adoption numbers in the previous talks, and you will see more in the upcoming talks. But even all those shiny numbers and statistics aside, more and more Google apps are moving to Kotlin. With that, let's take a quick look at today and let's see what's new in Android. As you've seen in the previous slides, Developer Preview 2 is out, so you can try and give feedback. Yay, a new version is just ahead of us. On the Jetpack side, we have some improvements and new releases. Some important ones, we have changes in the Work Manager and also Hilt. Hilt is an easy-to-use dependency injection framework. It's currently in beta, but getting close to stable. Another important update is Jetpack Compose. Jetpack Compose is an unbundled UI toolkit which is designed to simplify and modernize native UI development. Instead of using XML to build the app UI and later use the generated R class to look up and tie the UI components to the application code, with Jetpack Compose, you use a declarative programming model, so you can simply describe what the UI should look like, and Compose will take care of the rest. You can easily add an annotation and preview the UI, which speeds up the development process. We launched Compose beta with an amazing show and released, also updated some of the code labs, sample apps, libraries, as well as some screencasts. We also announced the Jetpack Compose Developer Challenge. Developers built amazing apps and UI animations during this challenge. And actually, we are so excited to see what developers will build next. On the platform, we have some major updates in the recent releases of Android. First, we really respect the app users' data and their privacy. So we have introduced some major changes on permissions, and especially on location and background location, but also on scope storage, so that users have more granular control on which files on the device the app can access. We've been doing such changes in the recent releases of Android and will continue improving the privacy. We introduced some limitations on foreground services and the package visibility as well. Besides those improvements, we also introduced a new data access auditing API With that, developers can track unintended data access from their app or from the libraries which they used in their apps. We continue adding new tools and features to Android Studio. In the last year, we added Layout Inspector, Database Inspector, and Work Manager Inspector. If we take a look at those, Layout Inspector helps you to easily debug UI hierarchies and find UI issues. Actually, this is really funny, but just literally 15 minutes ago, I found an app issue by using the Layout Inspector. It's really helpful. Database Inspector lets you easily display and even edit database data. It's as simple as editing a spreadsheet, which used to be really hard. You can use Work Manager Inspector to visualize and see the details of background jobs. Another big change ahead is the new Android Gradle plugin. With the new Android Gradle plugin, we will introduce new APIs to help developers, as well as an easier decoupled versioning with Android Studio. Another news is we just released Android for Cars app library. This library is currently in beta, and again, we are excited to see what developers will build next. Now, let's switch gears and take a look at what we are doing to train and teach modern development practices to Android developers. To start, Math Series. Math Series started, I believe, roughly a year ago, and in less than a year we published more than 45 videos. These videos focus on best practices, techniques, samples on developing Android apps. We cover different topics in Math Series. Each topic is covered in a mini-series, and this is followed with a live Q&A session with the engineers who worked on that topic. You can find different topics such as navigation, work manager, motion layout, app bundles, and so on. These videos are technical screencasts and usually come with a sample app. The content is also available in a blog post format if you prefer reading instead of watching. The Android Basics in Kotlin course is aiming to transform and also help people with little to no programming experience into programmers who can build simple Android apps. And those people will have the skills and knowledge to continue to a more advanced study material. Each unit comes with a number of pathways. We launched 4 units so far, and more units will be launching soon. We want to make Android development accessible to more people. A new curriculum for Android development with Kotlin is available for educators so that you can teach Android in a classroom setting. This includes many materials to give you everything you need, such as lecture slides, hands-on code labs with solution code on GitHub, and badges for students who finish the course. We also launched a new educators website where you can access all these resources in just a single place. Android Study Jams program is available for people who prefer to learn in a peer group setting. This content enables a group of people to come together and learn Android at their own pace by using these online curriculum. Since from last October, we have more than 1,000 events and 55,000 attendees. Study jams have a really special place for me. Before joining Google, I was a GDG organizer and ran 3 different study jams. During those study jams, I met wonderful, like-minded people who later became my fellow organizers, and some of them became my best friends. Our training efforts do not end here. We have training programs for underrepresented communities to help them become the next generation of developers and build amazing apps. This curriculum is 35 hours per week and takes someone from no programming experience to becoming a junior Android developer. This program will also provide support through live teaching sessions, mentor interactions, office hours, community engagement, and webinars. So with that, we talked about the past and today of Android. Now, before I finish my talk, let's take a look at the future of Android. For a moment, I want you to stop and think. Think about how many people like you are currently watching this stream. And they will be using these materials to teach Android and Kotlin in faculties. Just for a moment, just imagine how big the developer ecosystem you folks will be touching and how big the change you would make. It's you. You are the future of Android, and we are looking forward to it. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Murad. I'm sure this session was extremely informative to all our audience who are joining us. Next up, let's welcome Lalit Singh Manral, the Training Program Manager, Developer Ecosystem at Google, who will be talking to us about why there is a need to prepare our students for the future workforce and how Google has taken the first step in bridging the skills gap in India. A gentle reminder to all of you is please ensure that you share session feedback with us after each talk. Again, it will pop out on the right-hand side of the video screen 1 minute before each talk ends. With that, over to you, Lalit.
Thank you, Laksha. A very warm welcome to all of you who have joined for this summit. My name is Lalit Singh, and I will be talking to you all on a topic which is non-tech, but is really important. We are calling it Making Future Workforce Ready. And with me, I will have a series of speakers who will be helping me out to share the knowledge on how they are contributing in different domains to make sure that our next generation workforce is ready. So without any further ado, let's get started. So it is true that we all are living in an age where digital transformation is one can say is kind of overwhelming sometimes, and that to say the least, right? And with the constant change in technology, it's not just changing the way we work, but also is changing the workplace environment. And as Professor Sahasrabuddhe mentioned, all the emerging technologies such as machine learning, AI, blockchain, even mobile application development, these are the new skill set demand which industry needs today. And these are the only skill set which where industry is kind of finding hard time to find the right skill set also. We have to acknowledge that there is a skill gap. According to a report from Statsia, it says that 92% of the employees in India believe that they suffer from a skill gap. And that skill gap can be as trivial as not able to operate digitally to a skill set which you need for a promotion or to get a new job. And today, being digital is the new way of life. As Jacob mentioned, that pandemic has affected each individual in different way. So many challenges we have to overcome in these past almost 2 years. And pandemic has not just affected the way we live, but also the job market in a big way. Today, not able to operate digitally is not an option. Each and every person out there needs to at least know the basics of how to operate digitally. I mean, you can't even communicate with each other if you do not know how to operate digitally. You need to at least know how to operate these apps through which you can communicate with each other. With pandemic and lockdown going on, nobody is going outside. These are the only ways by which we can make sure that we are connected to our loved ones. And each and every business out there is adding digital aspect to their business. I mean, it can be a simple example such as a bakery shopkeeper who never even thought of going digital before. He was just running his shop peacefully, quietly in a street, and he was just getting by his life up until now. He cannot do that any longer. People are not going out. And in order for him to sell his product, he definitely need a digital presence. It can be a website or it can be a mobile app through which people can see his goods and consumer can order his goods and he can still earn his livelihood, right? I mean, a live or a good example would be the teachers, the professor and faculties who have joined us today. I would have never thought that at least for next 10 to 15 years that we would be delivering all these degree courses such as BTech or MTech in an online mode. But thanks to all the efforts put by the faculties and professors, you guys have really upgraded themselves. And I know it's learning anything new, especially the whole platform is really hard. But you guys have put all the efforts to make sure that your students are getting the best of the knowledge in their courses. Thanks to you all. And that's what we are trying to create here. We know that there is a demand of these new skill set keep coming up with this new digital era coming up. So we definitely need more and more people, more and more students, getting out of college already equipped with these new digital, with these new skill set. So with that, we have started working with this faculty training program. Now, we personally believe that these students are the important part of the society, and not just for building up their own future, but also for shaping up the world future. I mean, anyone can be the next tech innovator from your college, from your university. And in order for them to realize that potential, we definitely need a mentor. We need a teacher. We need someone who can make them realize that. And that's where I think faculty plays a very important role. They are the pillar of building that foundation. And through this faculty training program, we want to collaborate with university level and all the skilling partner in India so that we can share all the Google Technologies learning resources and the training resources. And if required, we also provide train the trainer sessions to all these faculties so that they can upskill themselves and add a new skill set to their bucket list, and then they can share that or impart that knowledge to the students. And we want to create a community of communities such like that in whole India. So we have already taken the first step. We want to make sure that more and more people are able to develop Android apps. And for that, aside from all the resources which we have online and a different initiative which Murat also talked about, for educators, we have recently launched a web page or a resource called Android for Educators. You can also find that on developer.com/teach. This is the dedicated resources which we have specially created for the faculties who wants to teach Android development in their classroom setting. So you will find that there is a proper lesson plan which all the universities can definitely consider to take this as part of their curriculum. It's the whole lesson plan is around 40 hours lesson plan, which includes definitely the 13 hours of theory and remaining 27 hours of practical. And it is a practical oriented course. So aside from students learning the lessons, they can practice all the practicals which are there in the lesson in a step-by-step manner. And we have made it much more interesting by including in a form of pathways, which increases the learning experience. Now, we have been, as Karthik mentioned, that we have been going on this journey for more than 7 to 8 months now. And we have already trained around 1,300 faculties. And these faculties have put a lot of efforts in upskilling themselves. So why don't we just hear from them, how was their experience, learning experience, what exactly worked for them, and what are their future plans regarding this course and regarding this skill set. Can we play the video, please?
Hi, I've been teaching Android for the last 2 years. And it's really interesting, and recently I've started teaching Android with Kotlin. Kotlin has made programming so easy and interesting, all my students enjoy the class like anything. The best part is they execute the programs on their cell phones, they take it home and they show it to their parents. And they really like it, okay, this is what my kids are doing in the college or the department. It's nice. Kotlin has made programming very easy. Thank you.
Practicing and making students learn and develop Android applications from last 5 years. I believe Kotlin is a language that makes Android application more faster and more fun. It has already been adapted by several major developers such as Expedia, Flipboard, Pinterest, Square and others for their application development. Kotlin also plays with the Java programming language that in effortless interoperation between two languages that has large part of Kotlin's appeal. I strongly believe students will be benefited by learning Android development with Kotlin that will certainly help them in the placements.
For developing of Android applications for the mobile phones, there is a Kotlin language is introduced by the Google, and which is a very productive language and which is a very easy and lightweight programming language. Okay, using this we can develop the different types of Android applications which are can be developed in a very less space. And this program we are developing a project, a socially relevant project as a Bhavishya project. Okay, here this Bhavishya project is especially used for the students who are coming from Telugu medium, and those students can easily know the how they can form the future path in their studies. Okay, after completing of a 10th, what are the different things can be selected for selecting their future studies. So for that we are training the second year and third year and final year students for their projects in this Kotlin language.
Isn't it amazing to see all these faculties sharing their learning experience and putting all these efforts to upskill themselves so that they can impart these new skill set in their students to make them future workforce ready. So I also believe that Kotlin is going to grow more in upcoming years. So wouldn't it be best to hear somebody from Kotlin team about this? So today we have Ksenia, who's in Kotlin team and who's also education manager at JetBrains. She will be talking about the future plans about the language and how language is contributing in creating the next generation workforce. Please welcome Ksenia. Over to you, Ksenia.
Thank you for the introduction, Lalit. Hello, everyone, and thanks a lot for joining us today. I'm really excited to share with you some information about teaching Kotlin, the use of the language in education, the future plans of the language, the efforts and initiatives we are taking in our team to develop the language in education and other spheres, and of course, the future outlook for the language. And we're going to get a glimpse of Kotlin being embraced by the industry and academia, and how the educators are benefiting from teaching Kotlin. And let's start with some basic information about the language. It's a general purpose language, meaning that it can not only target Java virtual machine, but that runs on virtually any device these days, be it a PC or Mac. Kotlin also targets Android and various cloud providers and anything you can think of. It's 100% interoperable with Java, and this has always been an idea behind the language design. We publicly announced Kotlin in 2011, and ever since, the language has evolved, and we're going to celebrate its 10-year anniversary this year. Kotlin, and of course, when talking about the popularity of Kotlin, we should talk about Android. Since the very first release, of Kotlin 1.0, Google has supported it officially, and it made Android development Kotlin first since 2019. There's a lot to explore in Kotlin, with a ton of exciting features in and around the language. And the language supports multi-platform targets, meaning that you can create business logic for your Android app and bring it to your iOS app in pure Kotlin. So this means that you save the time and effort, and you don't need to introduce any new languages to teach cross-platform development. And since the initial conception, both the business world and the academia have taken a liking to Kotlin, and the language continues to evolve to meet the demands of these sectors. And we're especially delighted to see Kotlin being adopted in some of the most impactful sectors of today's IT industry: server-side, mobile, cloud development, and it increases its adoption in other trending fields like machine learning and data science. And the companies adopting Kotlin aren't small fish. They're global players, and you probably recognize some of the logos here. These are technology companies, bank, automotive industry, and many of them have already embraced Kotlin as a means to deliver better software. And on the screen, it's just a small selection of companies adopting Kotlin. According to the measurements we take at JetBrains, in 2018, there was 1 million developers who had edited Kotlin code. And in 2020, this number had increased almost sixfold, and it's 5.8 million developers now. Other independent statistics and surveys paint a similar picture. For the last 3 years, Kotlin has consistently ranked among the top 5 most loved programming languages in Stack Overflow annual developer survey, and GitHub has ranked Kotlin as one of the top 5 fastest growing languages in the world. And the job postings for Kotlin have increased by more than 1,400% since 2017. With the industry embracing Kotlin like this, it was also nice for us to see top-ranking universities all across the globe adopt Kotlin in their curriculum. In 2020, we knew of over 100 universities that taught Kotlin. Now, in 2021, this number continues to climb and has almost doubled. Over 190 universities now teach Kotlin. And thanks to the immense efforts from our colleagues at Google, we could add several Indian universities to this map this year. And we hope that soon we'll be able to add even more universities from India to our map. Universities all across the world already teach Kotlin, and this year we welcomed 6 Indian early adopters on board: Punjab Technical University, Chandigarh University, Shivaji University, Ganpat University, Learning for Growth Platform, and Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge. Thank you so much for joining our community. About 62% of the Kotlin courses we know about are teaching Android development. Several universities have started by introducing Kotlin into their mobile app development classes and then moving further to teach Introduction to Programming in Kotlin and other subjects. And we're grateful to each and every educator. Kotlin is also gaining momentum in competitive programming. JetBrains is the sponsor of the International Collegiate Programming Contest, ICPC, and it's one of the official languages there, along with Java, Python, and C++. And top programmers of the world use Kotlin for their sports coding. India is one of the largest regions in the world who participate in the ICPC. Over 1,200 universities from India usually take part in the ICPC competitions in the region and in the world. Now let's take a look into the future of the language. We strive to remove barriers between ideas and working code. And Kotlin has always been and continues to be a modern language of the industry. It solves tasks of real developers, and it's going to remain to keep this focus and being a useful and pragmatic tool used by the industry. Built on the JVM, Kotlin's portability gives the language a large breadth of use cases. So now we use Kotlin for Android, for multi-platform mobile development, for server-side, data science, and of course, education. And it's here where your help is in bringing Kotlin to more classrooms is tremendously appreciated. There's a bunch of ways to get up and running. All this information and documentation tailored towards educators can be found on our website, kotlinlang.org/education. And if you want to get a feel for the community and talk to other developers working with Kotlin and other educators teaching it, join the Slack channel with over 37,000 participants. There's a dedicated channel for educators, and you'll find people who are interested in teaching Kotlin there, and you can exchange your experiences and ask for advice there. And you can also subscribe to the official YouTube channel Kotlin by JetBrains and join our monthly webinars. For example, one of the last webinars was dedicated to teaching Android development at Stanford University, and participants could ask their questions to the Stanford lecturer. And that's all from my side. I hope I was able to pique your interest about Kotlin a bit, and who knows, maybe soon you'll join one of these universities from all over the world in teaching Kotlin, like Dr. Satvir Singh from Punjab Technical University, who thinks that Kotlin is the most suitable language to be learned for mobile app development, or Dr. Gurpreet Singh from Chandigarh University, who thinks that Kotlin's clean language design makes it a highly productive language and also simplifies grading homework and understanding students' code. Or Rahul Pandey, who teaches Android class at Stanford and thinks that Kotlin is a path forward for Android and a really great tool for education. That's it from me. All that's left is to sincerely thank you for joining us today, and I hope you're excited to add Kotlin to your own curriculum. Over to you, Lalit.
Thank you, Ksenia, for enlightening us with the future plans of the language. Over the couple of years, now Google has been coming up with various initiatives which can help students to bridge that skilling gap between the academia and the industry. Today, we have such a person who has started his journey as a student, and today, currently, he is working as senior Android developer in the industry. Why don't we hear from Himanshu Singh, who is a Google developer expert in Android, about his learning and experience? Please take the floor, Himanshu.
Hey, thank you, Lalit. Thank you for having me here. And I welcome everyone on the session. And I would like to introduce myself first. I am Himanshu Singh. I'm a Google developer expert, and I work as a senior engineer in Android for a US-based startup. So to start off with my journey, I started off as a student, frankly, when I dipped into Android first. And when I started off, it was a very early stage for me in the coding world itself. So I picked up Android, and in Android specifically, I picked up Kotlin, and Kotlin at that point was a very early stage. So to help me out with this, I actually got associated with a program of Google called Applied CS. So in Applied CS, Google used to help us learn the core engineering skills like data structures while building an Android application. So that's how we learned about it. And after that, after a year or so, I got associated with another program of Google. That was Developer Student Club, or how DSC we call it. So it's a current program which still runs. And in this, we were actually responsible of learning Android while building applications using Kotlin, as well as helping other application students to build their own applications. So this was more like a learning and teaching as well. So in this as well, we extensively learned a lot of things, and frankly, we built a couple of solutions which were actually helped and used by a lot of small store owners like gyms and smaller studios. So after that, I actually joined a startup, and in that startup, that was my first job of my life. So in that job, I built an application for 1.5 years, and that project was like extensively Kotlin, and it was an Android project. And after 1.5 years, Times Internet, or Times of India, how we know it in India, acquired that startup. So that was an actual boost for me when I started off. And then I saw a couple of problems which a lot of students actually face. So I started mentoring a lot of different students all around India in learning Android, in learning technologies. And I'm not saying that Android is the only thing you should learn, but anything and everything you learn should have certain set of dedication from your side. And by doing so, I also got selected as a Google Developer Expert by Google. So I'm a GDE in Android, and I'm among one of the 6 people in India. So among GDEs, we actually create a lot of open source, or I might say a free content for users to learn. It can be students, it can be a different set of people who wants to just get started with something, and we help it out. So I've been part of that for last 1 year, and currently I work in a US startup, right? So there, we actually are into a rental platform where we rent rooms and help you guys out to get a roommate as well if you have an empty room, right? So there, we actually built a very amazing feature where we were building a background check verification. So for example, if we want someone to get a room, we want you to be verified. And for that reason, we were looking out for good, amazing engineers, right? And we worked with them. So while checking out for a lot of profiles, we actually look for definite skills, yes. But let's say that if we have a tie between 2 different engineers we found interesting, and one person has worked on Java and one has not worked on, one has worked on Kotlin, right? So at that point, we definitely want to choose the Kotlin guy moving ahead. And it's not like that we would not be giving a chance to the Java guy, but yes, Kotlin is always preferred. And while we use Kotlin directly in our Android projects, Kotlin also helped me to build my applications in iOS as well as the web platforms. So I have been using that for a long time, and I definitely recommend any new startup project, or let's say anyone who's getting into engineering, right? Like programming or building something, I would definitely recommend them using Kotlin as a first choice language. That helped me to transform myself from a student to a good level engineer. Like I graduated 3 years back, in a 3-year time, I actually learned so many things that I work and serve as a senior Android engineer right now. So my suggestion to everyone and all of you would be that if you guys are already teaching your students into an Android engineering development domain, right? And if you're still using Java, I would highly recommend if you guys can actually try Kotlin once, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it, and your students are going to definitely enjoy it. And that is going to help them in the longer run when they actually go to the market to get a good job or something, if they are planning to switch a job, because they would always have an upper hand compared to other engineers, right? So with this, I actually conclude my talk, and thank you everyone for having me here. And I would be available offline as well if you want to connect or have any other questions to resolve. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Himanshu, for sharing your wonderful journey and the industry experience. So aside from Android, we also have several initiatives running with faculties on Google Cloud Team. So we have Sana, who's a program manager at Google Cloud Learning. Let's just hear from her what are the different initiatives Google Cloud is doing in making the next generation workforce ready. Please take the floor, Sana.
Thanks, Lalit. Thank you for that introduction. Hi, everyone, and thank you for being part of this summit. It's indeed a pleasure to be able to talk to you and show what we are doing to make future workforce ready in India. Lalit has already talked about the skill gap that we're seeing in India, which is 92%. Let me talk a little bit about the worldwide statistics that we have seen. For the last 12 years, Global Knowledge reports on the inner workings of the IT departments worldwide. These insights that you see are from the 2019 report. The report indicates that the cloud roles are in the top 10 in-demand IT roles. 79% of the worldwide IT departments report a skill gap, which means that the kind of skills that they are looking for is not available in the market. For APAC alone, this number is 75%, which is still a pretty significant gap. Now, recruitment and retention is one of the primary challenges being faced by these IT departments, where they are finding it a big difficulty in filling their teams with the right skilled professionals. Now, put these two numbers together and compare them with the fact that 60% of the worldwide companies have already listed cloud computing as the top investment area. This number was close to 35% in 2015. So the growth that you see itself indicates the current industry is moving towards a cloud-first world. As the cloud adoption continues to rapidly grow, so do the capabilities of what the technology can achieve. This recent increase in cloud adoption has resulted in a corresponding increase in the need for workers who are skilled in cloud technologies. I believe that the college students today are primed to fill this skill gap, and we are here to help you prepare for them. I want to talk to you about some of the programs in cloud computing that we are running with higher education segment in India. So I want to take you through 3 of the primary programs that we are currently running in India. To start with, I want to start with the Google Cloud Ready Facilitator program. This program focuses on building the necessary technical skills through hands-on lab. The program is driven by student ambassadors. It's driven for the students and mentored by a faculty such as yourself. Any student or faculty who's participating in this program get an opportunity to earn skill badges. Now, what exactly is a skill badge? A skill badge is a digital badge which is issued by Google Cloud in recognition of a student's cloud competency. The badge is earned every time a student completes a series of hands-on labs pertaining to a particular topic, and then eventually taking a final skill set test challenge lab. All of this is done through the Quick Labs platform. The skill badge which they achieve can then be showcased or show off on the social media platform. The second program that I want to talk about is the Google Cloud Computing Foundations program. The program provides interested faculty members with an enterprise-grade curriculum that enables learners to develop the technical proficiency in cloud computing and launch up with their careers in a cloud-first world. This course is an ideal foundation course for diverse career paths, including those in IT infrastructure, data analytics, and cloud-native application development. The course itself is designed to be faculty-led and can be delivered in a live or a virtual classroom settings. Having said that, the course is also available in an online on-demand platform on Quick Labs. The course is a 40-hour course that includes lectures, demo, hands-on labs, and both knowledge and practical assessments. Finally, I want to talk about the Career Readiness Program. This program provides students with the in-depth technical skills that the employers are looking for. This is provided to the students with the help of an on-demand training and an opportunity to write a global certification exam. The program currently consists of 2 tracks: the Associate Cloud Engineer track, which is designed for students interested in building expertise in cloud infrastructure. Students often pursue roles such as cloud engineers, solution architects, and DevOps engineers. And this track is just the right one for them. The second track is the data analyst track, which is designed for students who are interested in learning how to derive insights through data analysis and visualization. This track is appropriate for students interested in becoming data analysts, business analysts, data engineers, and business intelligence professionals. Now, I want to talk about the impact that we have already created in the Indian market. Our journey in the Indian landscape began in the later half of 2019, and we have already built the program in 400 plus education institutes in India. We have more than 11,000 students who have undergone this training and built the necessary Google Cloud skill set. Two fine examples of how attaining the necessary skills help are Rehan Khan and Rohan Singh. The two boys are from small towns in India who participated in the career readiness program. They were able to write the cloud certification exam, clear it, and then were able to land their dream jobs in the respective organizations. In order to help such students, we are also now closely collaborating with a lot of Google Cloud partners in order to connect them to these students who have undergone the training for potential employment opportunities. Lastly, I just want to take a moment to talk about how you can start your journey on this cloud platform. On the slide, you can see a lot of links that you can access. Please go through them, and I would request you to apply for the programs that fit your requirement. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to give it back to Lalit.
Thank you, Sana, for sharing all the good work you have been doing and your team has been doing on the ground for upgrading the faculties. You can also go through our dedicated Made for India course on Play Academy at g.co/playacademy/India. So what this course teaches you about is the Google Play Store. I mean, after learning Android application development, you definitely want to publish your app on our Google Play Store. So this course teaches you about how to make apps that are delight to your user and at the same time ensure that your apps ticks all the checks about the Google Play policies. So we come to an end. Before I go, I would like to thank all the speakers who helped me deliver this talk and shared their valuable insight on their domain and how they are contributing in making the India workforce ready. I hope you all enjoyed the talk and have learned the importance of making your student ready for the next generation workforce. With that, thanks again for joining me. Do enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you, Lalit, Ksenia, Himanshu, and Sana for all those informative resources. We are now heading into an exciting element of this event, the panel discussion. I am delighted to have Harsh Dattani from the developer ecosystem team at Google join in as the moderator for this panel and would also like to extend a hearty welcome to our esteemed panelists. Over to you, Harsh.
This panel discussion I'll be asking questions to each of our panelists one by one. However, all other panelists feel free to add your views, your opinions around it. And I'll be moderating the question if in case we are running out of time or we need some more time to discuss over there. So basically I'll be moderating and calling out the panelists as well. So yes, so let's start the panel discussion. So my first question is to Kavita Madam, it's like we'd like to know what motivated you as a faculty or what motivated your institute organization to move to Android development with Kotlin, and what are various steps you are following as a faculty to keep yourself updated, so that all the faculty viewers can know what to do, what to not to do, how to follow. So you can share your views and your experience around it.
Yes, yes, yes. See, we have been associated with Google for last 4 to 5 years. We started with Android development programming as a elective subject, in fact, in our curriculum for MCA as well as MSc course. But looking at the demand of the students, the way they performed, the interest they took, in fact, even though we kept it as elective, the whole class wanted to opt for it. So for 2-3 years we kept it as an elective, and then we converted into compulsory subject of the curriculum for MCA as well as MSc Computer Science. And in the beginning, for last 2 years, we were with Android, working with Java, right? And now recently we had training on Kotlin. The best part of the Kotlin is right now it's in demand. See, what we want as a faculty is our students should be placed in the industry. Our students should be in demand. To make the students in demand, they should be updated with the latest technology what the market is using. So right now, as per the market study, Kotlin is in full demand. So we thought now Android background is already there, and Kotlin is little bit like Java only, so it doesn't take much efforts for students as well as faculty to shift from Android with Java to Android with Kotlin. So we decided, okay, let's go with Android with Kotlin so that our students have a good market value and they can survive. See, main aim is the placement of the student, to be very frank. Everything is fine, but a student passes out from my university, he should be in demand in the market. People should say, okay, he is passed out from Shivaji University. Okay, the latest curriculum they have, let us take it, right? And motivating myself for learning new technology. Of course, it's a challenging thing, but the best part is when I did this FDP for Kotlin, I should appreciate it along with the presentation, the PPTs, as well as the video lectures of the experts are available for the faculty to learn themselves or to get some more data about it. So the resource availability is an important part, and which is available when you're working with Android and Kotlin. So that is the best part which keeps us motivated. Another thing is when students know the faculty, know the latest technology, you are in demand in your department also. You are in demand in your college also because you know the latest technology. Not only that, the nearby colleges, when they know, okay, so-and-so faculty knows Kotlin, it's a new in the market, right? So everyone wants to have a seminar, everyone wants to have a workshop. So you are invited as a guest lecturer, you are invited to give some workshops. So it motivates automatically like, okay, once you go into that phase, then you need to maintain that phase. So you automatically learn the things, right? So the best part is the availability of the resources, which really makes learning easy and motivating.
Sure. Yes, that totally makes sense. Thanks for sharing your views. I totally agree with your point on how faculties can keep themselves up to date, because we also personally feel that one faculty can educate around maybe 50, 60 students in their class. So if faculty themselves are well motivated, well going up with the trend, following the trend and how industry, they also follow industries, it's helpful for students as well. Yes. So if Saurabh sir, Arun sir, Akash sir, if any one of you basically want to add what kind of activities you do at your personal scale to upgrade yourself, and what motivated you to move to this Kotlin program, if anyone of you wants to add their views as well. Yes.
So let me share you some instances with reference to the students, especially into the development of mobile applications or web-based application. We all are aware that 75% of mobiles are into Android also, and taking into consideration the current environment wherein most of the applications are required. For example, if examination is a current challenge wherein AI is coming up like anything. So students who are right now undergoing this course at any places, we at Chandigarh University have also incorporated in our CSC as well as MCA program as an fundamental subject, wherein we feel that it leads to many tracks. First is it leads to the entrepreneurship, which also aligns with the government of India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Second, it also aligns with one more thing, is that a lot of hackathons for the student community globally is going on. We our developer students club at Chandigarh University, make these students who are undergoing this course, align with the hackathons, which are basically, into a development. We have, hash code also kickstart by Google. Then further, Google coming up for industry academia in the curriculum as a course in the curriculum. I think it's a very encouraging, and we thank Google for giving the faculty also to upskill themselves in the coming latest technology around. I was seeing the Padmanabhan this thing, 1,000 plus students have undergone this thing, and 1,000 plus faculty across pan India has gone through this skill development training by Google, and further endorsed by the AICT chairman also. I think it's a great initiative by Google, and we'll be carrying on this thing to the next level.
Sure. Yes. Thanks, Gurpreet sir, for sharing your views. Yes. I think now we'll move to our next question, which is I want to know from Navdeepak sir, from your side. Would like to understand. Let's say since this everything pandemic began, and we all the universities have geared up, all the faculties have geared up, moving towards digital side, digital online education, taking lectures online, webinars online. So did you face any kind of challenges during that part? And let's say while introducing a new course to students, previously everything was offline, there were lab oriented things, the students were part of their classroom. So that point was different, and now your university and other universities, other faculties will teaching this course online till everything goes back normal. So what kind of challenges did you face, and how did you solve those challenges? Any kind of tips or something that you did can be helpful.
If I talk about IK Gujral Punjab Technical University, it is an affiliating university having 234 affiliated colleges across Punjab. So with this number, we are having students from each and every state of the nation. So when suddenly the classroom teaching was converted into an online teaching, the first biggest issue was the internet problem. The students who are in the remote area, or maybe in some locations where sensitive locations where net is not proper, the online teaching was a big concern. Sometimes they couldn't able to switch on their video. Sometimes they was having a problem in their audio. That was a challenge because certain transfer of classroom teaching to online teaching was not by choice. It was because of the COVID-19. So universities or institutions may be prepared or may get prepared, but it was tough for students and parents to get prepared at the same time. Second challenge was lack of option in online classrooms in comparison to the conventional teaching. Because in the conventional teaching, faculty can read the face of the student that whether he or she is understanding or not, and accordingly he or she can take the corrective action. So two solutions we have taken at IK Gujral Punjab Technical University is, as per the recommendations of UGC and All India Council for Technical Education, we have promoted NAPTEL and SWAM courses among the students, where the courses are online and is delivered in an efficient manner. Also, as in the normal life, there are many competitions, many activities goes on in the university campus. So we shifted those activities also online to involve the students. It may be a hackathons or business plan competitions, so that we may keep the students engaged as even along with the regular teaching.
Yes, thanks, sir. Thanks, sharing. Yes. So plus this Android development with Kotlin course is also online. We also developed this, kept it entire online, considering all these factors in mind. And plus the ideas that you have shared can be useful for the universities or the faculties who will be doing it online. Yes. So one thing that's coming out, common thing that's coming out of based on the initial discussion is some kind of incentives, motivations for students in terms of hackathons or any kind of online engagement activities. That's been coming up from your views and Gurpreet's views as well. So that's really nice, and let's see how we also is able to help you in terms of that, how we can evolve a program, keeping those activities in mind as well. Yes, thanks. So next, I'd like to ask Gurpreet sir over here, like what kind of activities or effective techniques that you use in your classroom or in your teaching as well. Like let's say students. So as now Deepak said, the students have joined any kind of course, and then we have also seen that students' motivation level or faculty's motivation level keeps on dropping once course progresses. In case of online phase, that's been observed and by multiple universities while you were talking. So any kind of activities, techniques that you do from your side to keep students motivated, faculties motivated and engaged throughout the course.
See, to learn new technology, there should be some motivation. So the biggest motivation is when Google is coming to you directly. So this is the biggest motivation, when the Google being coming directly to your doorstep and giving the hand holding and doing the fundamental things. The first is training the faculty, which is utmost required when we are going to adopt the course. Then not only giving the training to faculty for a week or more than that, also hand holding the faculty during the delivery of the course. This empowers the faculty and gives the motivation that someone is behind, like Google, who going to help out during the course of delivery. Second is, gone are the days when we used to have orthodox syllabus. When we did our engineering 20 years back, it's like that. What is required in 2024, student knows this thing. So Android being with Kotlin now coming, it's quite popular in with the students, and students are already aware of this thing. So now when student gets motivation that Google is also behind, driving this course at the back end, trained by faculty, it opens up many endeavors for him. The first endeavor he sees in this thing is he can be a good entrepreneur, where lot of government of India, under Startup India programs, we have technology business incubator. And I would like to add one thing more. We have one Android app, wrong parking apps, which has been acknowledged by Honorable Prime Minister of India and various agencies. And it's an Android based app, and it has not only empowered the student to start up its own entrepreneur, it is giving employability to others also. Plus the one more thing is that when industry is directly coming into the training the faculty, designing the courses and giving the direction how to integrate into the curriculum, I think is the best phase of higher education, where students are going to benefit at large as well as the faculty. So I think the initiation by the Google is very thing, and I really appreciate it. And most of the students are highly motivated, and your programs not only lead to the classroom also, but beyond classroom also. A lot of hackathons are there, a lot of your engagement activities, your developers coming down to the campus. I remember we did Mobile Developer Fest at Chandigarh University in 2018, where your whole team, the technical part, the core developer interacted with the students. This gave student such a motivation that tomorrow I'll be at that stage where I'll be imparting this thing to the next generation. So I think this is a wonderful initiative, and we must carry on to the next level.
Thanks, Dr. Sir, for your views. Now, Deepak sir, Saurabh sir, Arun sir, anyone would like to add your points around it?
We at Punjab Technical University, you have concept of studies for the curriculum development. And in every board of study meeting, we used to call a representative from the industry or the corporate sector. And already we have many elective subjects recommended by the multinational companies. And the last one that we have added after the collaboration agreement with Google Asia Pacific is Android development with Kotlin. So we are giving these new subjects to the students as an elective, so that as per their area of interest, they may opt the subject, and this will naturally enhance their employability skills.
Sure. Yes, I totally agree.
Our students are also developing a lot of apps as they being an innovator. So what we practice is we collect the problems from the industry and try to pass on to the students. And this is the way they are solving something and developing something which is very important for the society's benefit. Also, such development requires a lot of high enabled technology. in terms of cyber security, we have to take care their private informations to be well encrypted. And for those, a different level of expertise needs to be developed for the students. And herein, we got extreme help from the Google that those kind of a content we receive from the Google and we pass on to the students, and our train the trainer programs wherein the faculty are being trained by Google are helping them actively to impart such kind of a solutions into their innovation. And this is the way many of our tech-enabled startups are now scaling up and was able to provide more than services, more than 85,000 of the customers recently. And one of the startups which we were incubating at Ganpat University is now heading towards the next pioneer of the edtech industry. So with the well-crafted support from the Google, this is we have been able to take care at the Ganpat University to impart the innovations, and we would really take it further to contribute into the making India innovation valley.
Yes, totally. Totally. Thanks, Saurabh sir. And we are also dedicated to help universities in all possible ways we can. Yes. So yes, thanks three of you for sharing your views. So next, I want to know from Arun sir and Akash sir. So first, I want to know from Akash sir around like what kind of activities. Obviously, Arun sir, you can also add your thoughts around it. Yes. Yes. So Akash sir, want to know from what kind of activities for faculty, students, upskilling activities that you do at your organization, and how anyone can participate into it. Some kind of light that you can share, some kind of learning and development activities that you do. Yes. Akash sir, not able to hear you.
You need to unmute.
Yes. So meantime, Akash sir, if now it's I think Akash sir there's some issue there at end. Or so meantime we figure out that thing. Can you share your side of what activities you do at your organization level or something?
Thank you, Harsh. This is Arun, technical trainer from Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge, which is a subsidiary or an initiative of Government of Telangana ITE&C department. So what activities that which we take it in to the students is first basically getting them employed is the first motto throughout engineering colleges. And not only engineering, but we also more focused on non-IT backgrounds, which needs a lot of technical support is also needed. That's a primary agenda that which we focus on. So we do directly on student training. There's a first priority trainings that which we do on state of Telangana. All the engineering colleges, non-engineering colleges, which called as degree and diploma colleges are also part of this academy, right? We are the delivery partners for Google in the delivery of Google trainings as well. Here, the most concentration we do not just only for students, not that they get employed. The second thing is that they gain more knowledge over the existing technologies. Like not one, like if you say Google is one biggest thing that which we have on any Android phone. If you take 100 students, there will be 60, 70 students that would be having an Android phone in their hand, right? That 70% of the students, when they build their own applications by themselves, that is what they feel that they have. So in this aspect, we do workshops, we do faculty trainings, we do boot camps, whatever we do. And last year, we also have done directly from Google, we have a boot camp that was done about for 3 days, technical boot camp, that helped a lot of students to come together to meet real-time employees who are on the technology. And when you talk about technology development, it is not one stripe which we take. Say, if you take Android, there is a mix of cloud which is included in it, right? So there, a technical person coming up and delivering a class will be equally priority to an academician, right? So it is an equal go, as a parallel go, which academics and industry collaboration is much needed, in this 2020 because the technical aspects are being run completely on company specific requirements in the present day. Like you can say product based companies are coming up more and more than service based companies, so that would be an added advantage for the students to know a product directly rather than just going with the services or technologies what they have. So that is what we are completely more I would say directed towards, which we are building up employable workforce who are ready for the future employers, like companies, small startups, maybe for a bigger company like Google, for any kind of thing. And secondly, we go on with incubation centers, like the startups training, where with in Telangana we have regional centers or IT hubs that are coming in 2-tier cities like Warangal, we have in Khammam, we have in Karimnagar. So that kind of situation there is a lot of need for the students and the freshers with a lot of training support that is needed. That is related to the technology point at any like standpoint where they are a mix of different technologies, right? So here we are giving in better support for them with the collaboration of the OEMs, Google, Oracle, IBM. So whatever the organizations that they are in need, we are striving better. Like, so if somebody wants to add, that be Akash.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, Akash, I hear you. Please go ahead. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So one of the biggest motivations for us at L4G as a team, to promote this technology, is the fact that faculty and students have this huge opportunity to, harness the full potential of Android and can create apps that are not only beneficial to them but also help the society. They can be innovative and transformative. And it's a huge opportunity. Students, especially students from semi-urban and rural areas that don't have access to proper infrastructure and to these kinds of new emerging technologies. It's a privilege for us to be part of this ecosystem to promote this technology to all of our affiliate partners. How we do it is we have workshops, boot camps, hackathons, various project or training programs that we conduct. We bring in industry experts as tech talks to promote these kinds of emerging technologies, and this is how we're able to create an impact. Our goal is to reach out to 10,000 students in the year in the states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We are also working with various universities and colleges to integrate Android application development into the curriculum. Already we've managed to complete a few boards of studies meetings, and students also are quite motivated and interested. It's because they can immediately see the outcome of what they are building once they deploy, and there's a lot of demand for this. And that is the reason why this technology is also being accepted as not only as an elective but also as a core professional core course in colleges and universities.
Yes, thanks, Akash. That really helpful from both of your views. So now one more question to both of you is like, what can be a good attributes of a trainer, or like since you are into this training space, and we also have faculties who will be doing training about these courses. So want to know from both of your side, you maybe Arun or Akash, like what are the good attributes of a trainer in general? Like how faculties can be a good trainer in online space or offline space, whatever kind of training they are doing. Can you share your ideas on?
So the most important quality of a trainer has to be hands-on teaching, not be theoretical. It has to be practical, hands-on, and coming up with good examples, practical examples that help students to relate to something that they can relate to. So good examples, studying the technology, coming up with good examples that students can relate to, and then making it as much as possible, making it hands-on. These are some of the qualities that any trainer should have when we are talking about some of these emerging technologies. In addition to that, we also need to look at some of these other teaching and learning techniques, be it pre-post assessment, flipped classroom, blended learning. These kinds of innovative techniques have to be explored by trainers. They have to assess the students even before they start training or teaching. So you need to have a pre-assessment of students, try and understand, because some students might already know most of these concepts already. They must have already explored and learned, built something on their own. So we need to understand the audience, create or customize the curriculum as per their capability, add more advanced examples and projects if we feel that students are catching up well with whatever we are covering, and then lead them to a proper outcome, as in some kind of certification, industry graded certification like what Google is offering for Android, the associate Android developer certification, and after that maybe point them towards good employment opportunities. So the entire pathway is something that a trainer has to plan well in advance, and then before starting any program. So these are some of the attributes that I can think of.
So to add with Akash, first of all, a trainer should be a learner. So that's a lifetime that which you have, because it's a win-win situation when you walk into an employer training, like they are adopting a new technology, right? So when we walk into an employee training, they are already employees. They are not students, right? So as a trainer, we should be a technology savvy, like 50%. If you are delivering 50%, you need to learn. So that's my strategy, where we need to stand in first in terms of learning, right? So, and Akash just mentioned like certifications. That is a first priority which we take, right? So if somebody wants to be a trainer, I would say that please get a certificate from an OEM, right? So you want to be a Google trainer, get a certificate from Google, because that makes you look high when you walk into a training session, right? Then there will be some reliability that you will be expecting from the students back, not only students, from the companies back. And there would be a lot of questions, like if you deliver a session to 100 or 200 students, in that 20% of the students are over knowledge than a trainer, I'm sure, right? 20% of the students, because the availability of online resources that are there. And you can see like Udacity has come up with an Android program a lot earlier than we had in the universities, right? So with Google tie-up, right? So you can see that a BTech second year, first year guy has taken a course on Udacity on Android application development with Java, right? Well back in 2016 itself, right? So where we started with the same thing in 2016 in faculty training. So that is a savvy, that the ease of a trainer is in learning and giving back the same pitch what we have learned. So that is what we stand in when we do TP3 programs, that we will get much more feeds and giving back, like one trainer, it's a proportionate ratio, that it's not 20 people there that you're training, that would be 200, 300, 400. It will even go up to thousands of students in the same university that you need to deliver. So that is what the potential that which we have in India. And we all know that there would be at least a 15.5 lakh graduates that which will come in every year in only engineering specialization. So that we should be at that point that which we are should address that masses. So that would be like equal to not less than a developer. A trainer is not less than a developer, with an additional ability of addressing the queries.
Yes.
If you allow me, let me add one quick point to it.
Yes.
To it. What I have observed it as since last year, the culture of certification, not only in the faculty but also in the student community, is developing at large. Let me give you a few examples. Google ACE track for faculty, and further leading to the certification of the students also. Initially there was a challenge, but during the course of this thing, what comes out now is that in the higher education, not only in the higher education but also to the intermediate level, the awareness of getting certified has gone by and large and absorbed and adopted by student community very effectively. And students now these days from all the platforms, name it a few, Coursera is there, Udacity is there, then you have Swim, Nectal also there. Earlier where it was a challenge, but right now students are adapting onto it. They want to learn fast, quickly, quality, and they need to be recognized their efforts through certification globally. And this is also opening up many avenues for the students globally also. So certification culture is new in the student community and it is growing very large.
Let me close this one. It's not about only engineering graduates that are taking up. Even ICSE, IGCSE schools are there, which they are offering 9th and 10th standard students with Android application development. But there are other players who are doing with MITx emulators and all. But OEM content is always OEM content, right? So Google's content is always Google content. So where we'll have a lot, stronger hands to stretch into the industry of education, right? Thank you.
And we have student doing coding right from the age of 5 to 7 to 9 years, and this is also a challenge wherein we need to see that quick learners are getting ready. So I think this is a very good culture which is developing.
Yes, thanks, panelists, for sharing your views. I totally agree, and I hope all the listeners over here from faculties who will be in future trainers in this course, or they might be teaching any other course. All this discussions I have put for them. So, and if we have any students as well who are listening, they might also feel importance of certification, and so that this discussion was really good. Thanks, three of you, for pitching those. So so considering time of this panel discussion, we're moving towards the last question of this, where I would like to know views from you, Saurabh sir. Obviously, Kavita madam, Noprit sir, Gupit sir, feel free to pitch your views as well. Like what kind of, so there are two things in upskilling themselves. There is one is employability as well, and there can be students as well who wants to become an entrepreneur. They are thinking, let's if I learn something, I may be able to solve any future problem as well. There are so many problems around it if they are looking for something. So how keeping up to date with trends help them solve the problem, and what kind of activities you are doing at your institute level to set up an entrepreneur kind of mindset among students as well, to look for problems, to solve for problems. And how such programs or such initiatives and anyway can be helpful, or what are your views around it as well? Would like to know from the university perspective of it.
Right. So Harsh, this is very important that our current students should not be only employable, but they should be empowered enough to give an opportunity to other students to get employability. And looking at this, at a Ganpat University, we have developed a complete ecosystems. So we have a pre-incubation center at the university. We have an incubation center, and post-incubation, we have a growth acceleration program. And majority of our students are concentrated under the pre-incubation part. So wherein students are encouraged to find out the industry problem, which is very important. And with the help of idea validation kind of an activity, team building activities, and certain hackathons we organize on a periodic basis, we provide them a competent platform wherein they can come forward and contribute and evaluate their ideas. See, EdTech industries is growing so fast, and this is the reason where currently our majority of the country's unicorn startups are also from the EdTech. So we at a Ganpat University, having a lot of mentors associated with us, and a strong industry association like we have with Google, we are a right environment where an innovator can come forward and incubate their ideas. For innovators, the major challenge is to have a experiment of an idea is too difficult, and for that they need to pump in some money. So at Ganpat University Incubation Center, we allow students to first of all come up with their idea, craft it in a way, the scope of the work should be defined, it should be validated, and if it is found very much sustainable, we help them first of all catering the grants from the government. We are a state and country's authorized nodal institute for incubation. So it is very much easy for us to cater the grants for the students, which they can use for the experiment. Like they can outsource certain work by utilizing that grant, and somehow some of the work they can do it in-house with the help of faculty mentors and the labs we do have available with it. And this is the way at least they can pilot the idea, which can be floated among the initial customer as a sampling. The minimum viable product can be checked. And if it is found, we take them to the next scheme and brought in certain huge fund which can be utilized to scale up the technology in terms of a viable technology. It is well protected with the threats, and have an opportunity to utilize that fund into spending into the marketing and finding the right investors. We do have at Ganpat University our own investment firm which invest into the startups, and with the vision of our Honorable Pro-Chancellor Dr. Mahendra Sharma sir and our President Dr. Ganpat Bhai Patel, who sits into the US and having a direct access to the Silicon Valley. Now we are promoting our startups to the cross-border. One of our startup, Guni Guru, currently imparting skilling among the Indians and the youth across the world, has a customer across the globe. The another startups, Photon VR, which is a virtual reality-based startups, having presence of their own company into 21 countries. So that kind of an ecosystem and the availability of a resource to be provided to the every innovators, because the life of an innovation is to stick. If they do not get a platform in a right time and they are not properly launched, there is a chance of a failure. And we can proudly say that a majority of our startups are currently successful startups. They are progressing to the next level. And this is the way we should enable the entire ecosystems. It should be open and it should be co-learning, co-collaborators, which we are getting support from Google is a best example of co-collaboration and co-learning. They are helping a lot. Our faculty development forum, it is another example wherein whenever the difficult questions comes from a students which we even don't know, we shoot into the faculty forum, and any of the faculty from the country come forward and give us a solution. So this is the way the ecosystem is getting stronger. The faculties who are listening to this summit, I urge everyone to get the maximum benefit of such initiative, and let us create a nation, a strong nations in the field of innovation.
I totally agree with Saurabh sir, actually. He is absolutely right. The same thing is followed almost at each and every university. But I'll talk from students' point of view. At Shivaji University, when I myself is teaching that Android programming for the students, so we give them seminars and some small app they need to develop as part of the project. So we carry out brainstorming session. We ask students to come up with some new innovative ideas, and we ask them to discuss and present it in front of whole class. So when they are presenting it, the rest of the students also give their inputs. So we get inputs, different views for the same project, and the project comes up very nicely. As even our university at Shivaji University also we have incubation innovation center. So if we find the app or the project what the student have come up is really good, then university itself gives the financial assistance to the students, and it also helps them in marketing their app. Not only that, there are many projects already going on at our innovation incubation center. So these students do come up with the apps which will help in marketing, providing a market for the products which are not related to IT. So in a way, it provides a good platform, and innovation comes up automatically. In fact, students are very good innovators. So once you brainstorm, then you get best ideas out of it. Thank you. I think Gurpreet sir also can add something to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take you to the another vertical, which is SME sector. This course has led to one more vertical, that is PBL, project based learning, where in the SME sector who needs technology solutions, students are taking up their problems and developing solutions to them, and it is economically viable also, and for the student point of view, they are solving the real industry problem at a level where which motivates them to take to the next level. One startup I would like to add on to here is that since technology business incubator is also at Chandigarh University, there is a one startup. The very good name is there, and it's in Telangana also. Stree app is there, which is basically one startup which is laundry based startup, and wherein they have developed a very good Android app, wherein the customers, they have lot of customer base in Telangana also and Punjab also. It was incubated from the Chandigarh University itself way back in 2017. So a lot of business is there, and it is getting giving employment to others also, plus the students are pumping in with these kind of ideas wherein they are providing solution to the local bodies also and the local ecosystem also. So I thank Google for this wonderful initiative of developing coding culture in the student community, right from the schooling age to the higher education. So wonderful effort.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for your views. I think we are running out of time, but we all had a fruitful discussion, and totally faculty, students out there will understand like how to keep themselves up to date, keep themselves motivated, keep learning. As you also mentioned about coding culture, you also mentioned about, all of us mentioned about project-based skilling, learning. So those are the few important hackathons. Participate in certification program as well. So thanks all the panelists for sharing your views, your opinions, and it was a really good discussion. So thanks to everyone. Now we'll move forward with our next session of the summit. Thanks for joining. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh, for facilitating this panel so beautifully. And it's so heartening to see the professors and trainers being so invested towards the cause of continual upskilling. I will now hand it back to Harsh Dattani for him to share an overview of the faculty community program, which we plan to start soon. Over to you, Harsh.
Thanks, Laksha, for the introduction. I hope you all are enjoying the summit. We are in the last phase of the summit. We also had a great, detailed, full panel discussion as well, where we engaged with faculties from different universities. Hope it was helpful. So now I would like to talk about the faculty expert program and faculty community initiative that we are going to start. So I am working with communities from around 2016. So it's been 5+ years I'm working with communities. So before I share more about faculty community program, I want to talk more about community. What is a community? How you can engage with those communities. So first we'll talk about what is a community. So most of you might be aware about the word community. Most of you might not. Some of you might have also been part of multiple communities as well. So even if you know, I'm sharing it again. What exactly is a community? So community is a place where like-minded people come together, talk about a specific technology, dedicate time. It can be a peer-to-peer connection as well. And these days, it's boundaryless. So you can be part of any community virtually you want. You can learn any technology or anything from experts around the globe. So that's the community all about. It's all about like-mindedness, like-minded people coming together. It's a basic definition of a community. So now I'll talk about what different communities we run. So we run a community called Google Developers Group, which is purely for professional developers, where professional developers in a specific city come under a single roof, talk about Google technologies. There can be webinars, workshops. Then we also do study jams as well in these communities. Then we have community for experts. So experts are someone who are
passionate about Google technologies, who know in and out about that Google technology and share their knowledge. So we also had we had a talk with of Himanshu, who is an expert on Android. So he shared his experience as well. So similarly, we have so many experts in India and abroad as well, who constantly dedicate their time, volunteer their time, sharing and teaching others. Yes. Now we have communities for professional developers and for experts. Why should we miss students? So we have a dedicated community called Google Developer Students Club. It's an institute-specific community where we have ambassadors in respective institute, and they do activities with fellow students. They do webinars, workshops, similar to what we do with the professional community. And also to encourage more women in tech, help them as well. We have a dedicated community called Women Tech Makers as well, which mainly focuses on diversity, inclusive activities. Yes. And now we know that we have a community for professional developers, students, experts, women, but why faculty should be left behind? So now we'll be starting a new community, a new concept in a community space is faculty community. So what exactly a faculty community is? So it's an institute-specific faculty community where faculties under a specific university or institute can do activities, can club together, meet together, do peer-to-peer learning as well, do webinars, workshops, research papers, publish research papers, talk about success stories as well. And obviously, when I say institute-specific, we don't want to keep it dedicated in a specific region or a university level. To take it outside of your university, we are starting another program called Faculty Expert Program, where a faculty who has contributed or who has worked with their respective institute level in a much better way, like some faculty who has conducted good amount of webinars, some faculty who has published multiple research papers as well. We will be after a proper evaluation, we will be onboarding them as a faculty expert, and there will be a pool of faculty experts across the universities we engage with. So there are two part of it: faculty community, which is free and open for any faculty to participate, and then there is faculty expert pool, which purely based on your contribution, your motivation, and what kind of activities you are doing in the community. It's some kind of recognition-based program for experts. Yes. And then you might be also curious to know that what are benefits to be part of a faculty community. So one clear benefit of being part of a faculty community is peer-to-peer connection, peer-to-peer network that it's building. Because each of us in this digital world, in this competitive world, we need a network as well. We need to connect with as many people as we can. We are passionate to learn from them as well. So that's one clear benefit. Second benefit is that as you are part of a faculty community, you also get access to pool of resources, learning resources that Google has created, and you can access it as well. So plus you can also connect with Google developers experts as well. We are also planning to do multiple sessions of these experts for the specific faculty community. We are also planning to do sessions from Googlers as well, who can attend an event virtually and talk about a particular technology. Another thing is that you can participate in our online events as well. So that's the three benefits. So those are three clear benefits that I see. Apart from it, if you feel that, okay, this is something that's not motivating me, we are also planning to introduce faculty incentives as well. It can be time bound. More details we will be sharing on time to time basis. But for now, these are the two programs that we want to share, that we are starting, and I'll be sharing more details after this summit. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh. I'm sure this initiative and this community will be beneficial to a lot of people. We've almost come to the end of the summit, and we really hope you had a great day of learning and good insights towards the Android developer ecosystem. I will now invite back Lalit Singh Mandral from the developer ecosystem team at Google to give us the closing remarks and share some information on how to join the program. Over to you, Lalit.
Hi again. Thanks, Riksha. So with this, we come to an end, and I know a lot of you might have a lot of questions like, how do I join this program? Are there any commercial involved? What is the process? Well, we have made the process pretty simple. So if you are interested to take part in this initiative, please do fill out the interest form. The link is already shared on the slide. and one of us will be reaching out to you, asking all the requirement and questions to you, and then we will start the process. And yes, there are no commercial involved with regard to training of faculties or with regard to imparting or sharing the resources for this program. We will be also featuring few of the faculties monthly through our Android for Adhyapak newsletter. So we are also providing the follow-up and supports to the faculties who do get trained from us. With that, I hope you all enjoyed the summit. And thank you once again for attending the summit, and stay safe. And I will conclude my talk here until we meet next time. Over to you, Laksha.
Thank you, Lalit. I also want to take a moment to thank all the attendees, our chief guest, all our speakers, our panelists, and most importantly, all the teams which are working tirelessly behind the scenes in making this event a grand success. Before we sign off, we really want to hear your feedback so that we can come back bigger and better the next time. The feedback link is on the slide and on the website. I really request you to take a moment to fill it. Until we meet next, here's me, Laksha Shivram Krishnan, signing off on behalf of Google Developer Relations Team in India. Please take care of yourselves and your loved ones and stay safe. Bye-bye.